Hello, my name's Duke January. I'm the head golf professional at Los Rios Golf Club here in Plano, Texas. This is going to be one of my weekly tips. Just to refresh your memories, if you watched any of the earlier ones, I went over the pitch shot, or L to L. I went over basic fundamental posture, and we went over some of the rotation of the shoulders and the spine angle. Well, today I'd like to talk a little bit about, and we actually talked about putting. We're going to try to separate this so that you understand it. In putting, you don't have a lot of body motion. In the golf swing and the pitch shots, there's full body motion. Now, putting and chipping, and not to confuse you with chipping and pitching, but chipping is more related to putting. We don't want a lot of body movement, okay? And as if you saw the one before, you watched me break my wrist and release my wrist for the L to L in the pitch shot. Well, in chipping, we're not going to do that. We don't want anything breaking. Like in putting, we don't want to break a lot of angles. Okay, a couple fundamentals and things that'll help you. Don't have to, but they might help you. Number one is in the posture in chipping. You can get laxed with it. You don't have to have a regimental setup. You can get kind of lazy like in putting. You can actually use a putting grip in chipping. But it doesn't matter, whatever's comfortable to you. All right, main fundamental, and probably the first thing you should know, is start with your weight onto your left side, okay? What this does is centers my center of the chest over the ball, and the ball, of course, is going to be played closer to the left foot. All right, make sure my hands are slightly out in front of it. Now, what this does is keep this part of my hand in front of the club head. You can see right here, the club head's in front of my hand. We want it this way. Club selection does not matter. Although, in chipping, if you play golf and you know what I'm talking about, in chipping, you don't want the ball to get up and land onto the green. You want the ball to stay low, get on the green, and roll like a putt. So, with my hands in front of it, it assures that my club head doesn't have all the loft on it. Okay, so, pick a club that you feel comfortable with, you feel like you can hit low and roll. That's the object of chipping. Weight on the left side, hands in front, and ball basically off the left heel. And you can also open up your stance a little bit. And if you look at the center of my chest. In putting, we do not want to break any angles, right? We want to keep the angles as stiff as we can. Chipping's the same way. I'm going to give you one tip, and that's basically all I'm going to talk about, that controls the club face. When you're doing this, look at the back of your left hand. Now, watch the club head as my hand turns. As my hand turns left, the club head goes left. As my hand breaks this way, the club head goes this way. As it turns right, in other words, the back of this wrist controls anything this face of this club does. We want to be consistent with the club face going at this target every time. As I turn wrist or break wrist, you can see the club face is changing angle. Well, here's the way to cure that. Take the wrist right here, and imagine there's a shaft going right up to the side of my hip, or side of my side here. As I hit the shot, I do not want that shaft to touch the side. So what I do with my wrist is I keep them going forward. And you can see the back of that left wrist hadn't changed at all. The shaft pointing here. Look what happens when I break the wrist. Boom! Shaft hits me in the side. So imagine there's a shaft coming out of the back of the club, and when I'm practicing, I cannot let that shaft hit my side. I've got to keep it coming back this way. Don't let your wrist break, is what I'm saying. Don't let your wrist turn. So, the easy way to think about this is keep a flat back of the left wrist all the way to the shot. And you practice this. This is a stroke saver. You practice this for an hour if you want. It's not that strenuous. It's easy to practice it. Weight on the left side. Hands in front. Control your left wrist. Don't let it break. Don't let it twist. Don't let it open. Rock your shoulders. Nothing else. Not much body action. Okay. I appreciate it. Again, my name's Duke January, Los Rios Golf Club.